So, one of the primary themes of the scriptures this weekend is the role of a prophet. And does the role of the prophet have anything to do with you? What do you think? You're just a Catholic in the pew, huh? But of course it does. A prophet is one who speaks on behalf of God, one who proclaims the truth. And the prophet, par excellence, is Jesus, right? The perfect revelation of God, the Son of God. And of course, if we want to know what God is like, we look to Jesus, our God in the flesh. And Jesus sends you and me, his disciples, into the world to be signs of his presence. And the world should be able to look at us, the community of believers, the baptized, the community of St. Thomas, and they should be able to see the face of Christ in you and in me. Yes, the clergy and those who are minister within the church are called to be prophetic, but in reality, we are all called to be prophetic. It's part of our baptismal call. And how can you be prophetic? Simply by living your life out as a committed disciple of Jesus, as a committed Catholic. As a married couple being faithful to their marriage vows by dying to themselves each day for the sake of the other. That's a powerful prophetic witness. Your presence here at Mass, whether it be Saturday evening or Sunday morning, is a prophetic gesture. Some people could plan other things, but you made it a point to be here. Sunday morning, we'll have many parents with kids that will struggle to get them pulled together to come to Sunday morning Mass, but they get them here, and they come to worship with us, and that's a prophetic gesture. Clearly says something about God being important in your life. By simply taking the time to pray, whether it be morning, evening, at meals when you're out in public, you're being prophetic. You're saying God is central to your life. You know, here at St. Thomas the Apostle Parish, I continue to be impressed with our outreach ministry to the nursing homes. You know, at each location, there's often lay people helping, helping to get things ready for Mass, helping the people to celebrate the liturgy. At almost every parish Mass, we send forth Eucharistic ministers to the shut-ins, bringing them Holy Communion because they're unable to attend Mass. And this outreach to our nursing homes, retirement homes, and the shut-ins is a wonderful gift to many people. And it couldn't happen without many people stepping up and sharing their gifts in that important ministry. Through our actions, through our outreach, in a multitude of ways, we communicate the love of God, in essence, speaking on behalf of God. So through our actions, we're telling those who cannot make it to Mass that they're loved by God. So your actions are important. They matter. But it's also the role of the church to speak God's word to power. You know, sometimes as individuals, we can be readily dismissed by those in authority, but the church has some measure of organizational strength, at least it should, for the pulpit and numbers to speak effectively to those in authority. But the difficulty is that the church can be co-opted, much like the professional prophets in Israel, as it comes to enjoy moving in the circles of the elite, walking the corridors of power. But our nation, our leaders, continue to need to hear the truth. And it's the truth about the sacredness of human life from conception until natural death. It's also the truth about the issues of capital punishment, the justice of tax policies, could be the immigration policy, environmental laws, corporate power, and the list goes on and on and on. Every issue in which the government is involved, whether it be domestic or foreign, carries a moral dimension. And if the church will not address this moral dimension, no one has the staying power to do so. So we have an important role. You know, in the scriptures, God always seems to be on the side of the poor, on those who are forgotten. And he clearly calls us to open our eyes to their needs. The biblical prophets call us to open our eyes to their needs. And ultimately, to stand in the truth is to stand within the ideals of our nations, the ideals that our nation was founded upon. So being a committed disciple of Jesus, being a committed Catholic is not always easy. There are challenges in that. Being a prophet is not always easy, because sometimes you face incredible resistance. Often the prophet can speak the truth, and the truth itself can be rejected and not received. However, the prophet must continue to stand in the truth, no matter what. And this is where we must invoke the principle of Mother Teresa when she said, we are called not to be successful, but we're called to be faithful. We must leave the long-term success to God, but we must do what God calls us to do each day. We may not always see the immediate results from our efforts, yet our faithfulness will impact generations for years to come. And we may not even be aware of that impact until the next life.